Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Chicago Suburbs Living. As always, I'm your host, John Sintich. I'm your guide to all things real estate in the south suburbs of Chicago, and the Chicagoland in general. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how much it really costs to purchase a home here in Illinois. Many folks think that the cost to purchase a home is just your down payment on the home that you purchase. Not the case. If you're unsure about how much it actually is going to cost you in order to purchase a home here in Illinois, well then make sure you watch this entire video because I'm going to be covering from A to Z the costs of purchasing a home. We'll cover all the closing costs associated with purchasing a home and all the miscellaneous fees that you're going to experience throughout the journey as well. Before we get into all of it, I want to remind everyone that might be new to the channel. First of all, thank you for stopping by. My name is John Sintich. I am a licensed realtor in the state of Illinois. I'm happy to help you with any of your real estate needs here in Illinois, whether you need to buy, sell, invest in real estate. I want to be your go-to person for that. Reach out to me anytime. All my contact information is going to be on the screen as well as in the description of this video down below. If at any point the content in this video resonates with you, you get some value out of it, please do me a huge favor, hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel. I make content like this every single week. All things living, breathing, playing, sleeping in the Chicagoland area. First, let's get into what closing costs actually are. Simply put, closing costs are the fees and the charges that you pay at the end of the transaction when you're at the closing table and you're finalizing your mortgage. The fees can range from a few $100s to several $1,000s, so it's important to be prepared for them. But it's not just closing costs that you need to factor in. There are other miscellaneous fees and services that you're going to be paying for throughout the home buying process, and we'll get into those now. First, you're going to need to complete an inspection on your property. I always recommend getting an inspection done when you purchase a home, and that costs money. The inspection company is going to charge you anywhere from $350 to $500. It could be more if you have extra inspection services added onto that, like radon testing, sewer scope, mold inspection, things like that. Now let's break down the different types of closing costs that you're going to be seeing on your home purchase in Illinois. The first type of closing costs are lender fees. These are charged by your mortgage broker. These fees typically include things like loan origination fees, document prep fees, appraisal fees, underwriting fees, things like that. They're typically a percentage of the loan amounts, and they range from 1% to 3% of the loan amount. If you're paying points, which are a percentage of the loan amount, you'll also need to consider that. For example, if you want to lower your mortgage rate from, let's say, 6.5%, which is where they are at the time of this video, to 6%, you're going to be paying half a point, right? And so that will be half a percentage of the loan amount in order to lower that interest rate and save on your monthly payment. We can get into that a lot more if you're interested in learning about paying points and how to discount your interest rate. Just comment discount points in the comment section and I can reach out to you and give you more information. The second type of closing costs are third-party fees, which are charged by companies that your lender works with to help facilitate the home buying process. These fees typically include appraisal fees, so paying the appraiser to go out and verify the value of the property that you're purchasing, title search fees, title fees, recording fees, things like that. You're also going to be looking at prepaid expenses. These are costs that you typically pay upfront before closing on your home. And these typically include things like homeowner's insurance and prepaid interest on your mortgage. You're not going to be paying property taxes upfront because the seller actually is going to be crediting you for property taxes, because here in Illinois, we pay property taxes for the year prior. So you're going to be getting a seller credit to cover the property taxes for the time you weren't actually living in the home. The fourth type of closing costs are escrow fees. These are charged by your lender in order to set up an escrow account, and this account is going to be used to hold funds for things like property taxes, insurance premiums, things like that. And the last type of closing costs that we're going to cover are miscellaneous fees. What does that even mean? There's a lot of miscellaneous fees and they add up quickly. They typically include things like wire transfer fees, notary fees, and while these fees seem small, they add up quickly over time, so you just have to factor these in. You also need to be aware of attorney fees, because here in Illinois, you're going to be having an attorney represent you throughout the purchase of the property. Typical attorney fees for buyers are around $500. Some are more expensive. It just depends on the attorney. There's no set standard industry fee for an attorney. They also vary based on if they're representing you as a buyer. Typically, if you're the seller, they tend to be a little bit more expensive. But again, every attorney is different. They charge what they're going to charge you. Okay, now that we've covered all the different types of closing costs that you're going to expect during the purchase of a property, the big question is, how much are you going to pay for these? What can you expect to pay? On average, in Illinois, you're going to be paying anywhere from 2 to 5% of the loan amount for your closing costs. That means if you're purchasing a home for, let's say, $300,000, you're going to be paying anywhere from $6,000 to $15,000 on closing costs. More often than not, it's going to be on the lower end, but we always like to overestimate so that you're not expecting to pay a certain amount and then it ends up being way more. We always overestimate and you typically are paying way less than that. Closing costs can seem overwhelming, but they're a normal part of every real estate transaction and it's important to be prepared for them. You don't want to just show up ready to buy a house with your down payment and think that's all you need to bring to the table. A lot of people get surprised by this, and that's the purpose of this video, is to educate you and make sure you're well prepared before you even take the first step of looking for a home. So you could just be better prepared to handle them when the time comes. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you got value out of it. If you did get any value today from this video, please do me a huge favor, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. It'll go a long way. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next video.